Who do you want to be in the future? I don't know, maybe a composer? You won't put food on the table if you choose that. I mean, it's debatable.
Put food on the table. Put food on the table means to make money in order to buy food and other important things. Обеспечивать. Put food on the table. So, tell me in the comments below, what do your parents do to put food on the table? And what would you like to do to put food on the table?
Listen, I have an idea. I don't want to live frugally.
Live frugally. Frugally means to live without spending a lot of money on food and other things. Frugally, экономно. For example, he didn't have a lot of money and we had to eat frugally in cheap cafes. I would rather live frugally than do the job I don't like. So, would you like to live frugally and do the job that you like? Or maybe you would like to combine these two things. Find the job that you like and be able to spend as much money as you need.
And I also don't want to work alone. I will be an investor. Because they make money, work for them. Okay, do you have a business plan? No, I don't. Haven't seen this picture of the cash flow quadrant? It's that simple as that. Just move from the left to the right without outdated approaches.
Outdated approach. Устаревшие подходы. Outdated approach. So, many people don't want to use outdated approaches because they want to get rich quickly. They don't want to use outdated approaches because they think that they will need a lot of time to get rich. But it's not always like that. Sometimes outdated approaches and outdated ideas are not outdated. They are very wise. So, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to use ideas and approaches that were tested by time, or you'd like to use some new ideas?
Okay, you still need a business plan. What for? Have you watched the video? Okay, let's imagine. You've become an investor. You've been given a huge sum of money from the bank. You want to invest in ice cream. Cool, it's tasty, and you've invested in a great number of ice cream shops. Yes. But look at it. Now it's time to pay off your bills as soon as possible before you have to pay interest on the loan, or you'll end up being in debt.
So, if you take money from the bank, you will have to pay off your debt. Pay off your debt. Sometimes it's really difficult to pay off your debt, and that's why many people have to live frugally. That's right, they have to live frugally. Pay interest on the loan. We pay interest if we borrow money from the bank, we take money from the bank, and when we give money back to the bank, we give them the amount of money we've taken and pay interest on top. So pay interest means платить проценты. So if we give our money to the bank, if we invest, the bank pays us interest. But if we take money from the bank, if we borrow money, we pay interest on the loan. So the bank pays interest on our investment, but we pay interest to the bank on the loan, на наш займ. То есть мы платим проценты за наш займ. So you should think twice before taking money from the bank, before taking a loan from the bank, because later you will have to, нужно будет отдавать долги, you will have to pay off your debts, and on top of that, сверху этого, you will have to pay what? You will have to pay the interest on your loan. Now, you can end up being in debt, or you can end up in debt. End up plus adjective, да, можно сказать, you will end up poor, ты в конечном итоге будешь каким? Бедным. You will end up being in debt. Вы в конечном итоге будете в долгах, то есть мы добавляем глагол с ингом, с ing, being, end up being in debt. Or you will end up in debt. You will end up in debt. Вы окажетесь где? Можно сказать, you will end up in Paris, or you will end up in debt. So, it's very important to think twice before taking a loan, or you can end up in debt, or you can end up poor, or you can end up being in debt.
But where do I take the money now?
Exactly. Now I understand that you need a business plan, resources, experience and education.
But it takes too much time.
It does, but I thought you wanted to be an investor.
Well, maybe composer is not that bad.
Yeah, for me. But not for you. You need to choose something you like.
But how do I know?
Trust me, you'll know.
Maybe the next lesson you can camp will be about something I love.
We'll see. I'm eager to learn what's next.